Hello class, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to begin to talk to you a little bit about the benefits of rhymes and how that we should incorporate those in good quality environments that are producing what this standard that we're talking about during weeks 2 and 3 are. So how does rhyming improve reading and spelling and writing, which are, when we look at the children and their timeline, we're looking at children are developing from birth to 5 with phonetic sounds on into language and talking to understanding and comprehending words, and then recognizing symbols as letters, symbols as numbers when they're 3 and 4, and then putting those phonetic sounds together starting in kindergarten, and then putting a consonant and a vowel together and blending, that's called blending, the sound like B and A, B, A, that's a blending together of a sound, and then they put another consonant on the end, so it becomes B, at, B, at, bat, and that's the way the beginning process of reading actually starts. And then by the time that they are in 2nd grade, they should have mastered the actual reading portion of that, and the phonetic sounds should all be there, and so they go over into another big wave of comprehension, which actually takes place cognitively when they are in the 3rd grade. And that is why 3rd grade reading scores are so very, very important, because they are predictors of whether or not the child has mastered the reading concept. But it actually begins way back in the infant and toddler classrooms. We know that rhyming is a huge part of what we do with those infants and toddlers. We begin to talk to them in rhymes. We begin to read, hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck 12, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. So we add music to those words, and for some reason, the way the mind is wired with our neurons and all those things that are happening in our brain between the left side and the right side being the more musically oriented, the left side being the more logical oriented side, we began to bounce that back and forth across what we call the midriff, the cross line midriff, and that creates the process of firing those neurons that are in our brain and causing the learning process to happen. So we know that children are very sensitive to rhymes, and it does help them lead towards better phonetic awareness. Now, why is that? Well, the reason being is when you break words down into smaller parts and you recognize the smaller parts in words, that is an important and a crucial skill for reading and spelling. That awareness leads to better reading and writing success as well. Now remember what I just talked about when I said we take the consonant and the short vowel and we blend them together, ba-ah. We actually break down the sound of ba. We actually break down the sound of short a, and we blend those together. That's exactly what we are doing. We are teaching children to listen to the specific sounds in a word Rhyming helps that because rhyming is a listening skill. What words rhyme? What words sound alike? Okay. So number one, rhyming teaches children who are learning to read about the patterns and structures in both the spoken and the written word. Songs and rhyming expose children to the rhythm of language. Now, the rhythm of language is that you can say a sentence, like when we ask a question, "How are you today?" "I am fine, thank you." When you ask a question, your voice goes up at the end. When you have a period, it goes down. That's the rhythm of the spoken language. Reading has a structure to it too. It has to have a rhythm. Have you ever sat and listened to a new reader read? The dog ran to the tree. And then you ask the child, what did the sentence say? The dog, something about a dog. They don't comprehend because they are reading the specific sounds of the words, and so therefore the rhythm of the reading hasn't taken place. But then you'll hear the child move over into another section where they say, the dog ran to the tree. The dog ran to the tree. Then they comprehend, you know that they have comprehended what they read. So the animation becomes real in their voices instead of the monotone sounding out every letter. So many times, have you seen children sitting happily listening to someone read in a monotone voice? How many of you all would listen to my lectures all the time if I did not act so dramatic on a video? I think you would deem Miss Maria as boring. I hope I'm not. Never have you ever sat and just said, oh, I could listen to that person read that story in a monotone voice all day long. What am I talking about when I say monotone voice? The dog ran to the tree. He sat down beside the tree. He was happy. If you read like that to your children, I don't know what will happen in your classroom. They'll go crazy. But if you read, guess what? The dog ran to the tree. The dog sat next to the tree. The dog was happy. Wow. All of a sudden, when you do reading with animation, they are glued to you. Rhyming and rhythm are important skills that help the reader or the child learn to use inflection and animation when reading aloud. It makes reading exciting. It makes books exciting. They come alive. So rhyming also propels children to make predictions while learning words and giving them crucial decoding skills. Research shows us that learning how to manipulate words through rhyming and rhyming games is important. It's not a crucial. is a reading skill. Students who struggle with reading often have a difficult time breaking down into their individual sounds or even hearing each sound, which is called phonetic awareness or phonemic awareness skills. It's very easy to incorporate games into your environment that have to do with rhyming. You need to put poems into your reading every day. You need to expose children to good habits in reading, how to turn the pages, where the title page is, what the name of the book is, the author of the book, and begin to expose them to that. So when they see a word, oh, have you seen this word before? Let's spell it. C-A-T, cat. It just opens the world up to their learning. So you infant and toddler teachers, make sure that you're singing rhymes to your children. Make sure that you're adding dramatic animation when you read to your kids. You 2-year-old teachers and 3-year-old teachers and 4-year-old teachers, you have to add the drama into your voice. So this week I've asked you to do a video of you reading a book. I hope I see some drama, and some animation. I don't want to see monotone Lucy reading Miss Maria's story. I want to see good things in your video. Can't wait to watch you read. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.